I'm going to present to you the amendment process in case a need for an amendment arises during the implementation of the EMFF funded project. I will cover both types of amendments, requests initiated by the consortium or the coordinator and the ones initiated by the Commission. Let's talk about the amendment consortium request. These are the main steps. The first prerequisite is the grant agreement signed by EU. The first step, launch the amendment request in the funding and tender portal. Compose the amendment, introduce all the changes. Amendment clauses will be selected automatically. 3 documents generated automatically: amendment request letter, amendment call letter, and the grant agreement data sheet. You will have to lock the data. EU will revise. It's a mandatory step. EU officers revise the data. EU officers can validate or reject. If EU validation, then the PL sign of the coordinator will sign and submit to EU. EU will assess during the assessment phase. EU will e-sign or rejection. So as you see, the consortium will launch the amendment request, encode the changes, and lock for review. They click the button EU review. It goes to the EU officers. If the EU officers validate, then the PL sign of the coordinator should sign and submit to EU. EU will assess and then decide to sign. If they reject, then it goes back to the consortium. They have to modify the data, lock for review, and then send it back to EU for review. This is the funding and tender portal. They have to log in, go to My Projects, Actions, Manage Projects. So launch the request for amendment. The first step is click here on the plus sign, launch new interaction with EU. Request for amendment, latest legal data, and click launch. As you see here, a new process is created with a request ID. A request can contain several changes to the grant agreement. It will be considered as a package. There is also the possibility to cancel or withdraw by the PL sign at any moment before the EU signature. Clicking on the amendment preparation takes you to the project summary tab. In this tab, you will see that the amendment number will be automatically assigned as soon as the amendment is signed by both the parties. The reference is the amendment request ID and the type is consortium request. The next tab is the amendment information. This is the upper part of the amendment information tab. In this tab, they have to encode the justification. This justification will be included in the request letter. As you see here, it says no amendment clauses is selected. Clauses are selected automatically if you modify the data of the project or manually by the project officer. So the lower part of the amendment information tab shows all the amendment clauses. These amendment clauses are automatically selected after editing the data in the related tabs. So as you see here, change of pre-financing, change of Annex 1, change of Annex 2, maximum grant amount have been modified, and that's why it is in bold. Let's say there is a change of start date. So the consortium starts to encode the new start date, and then they click on Save. After the start date has been changed, you see the amendment clauses has been selected and it is now in bold, change of action starting date. So amendment clauses are automatically selected after editing the data. Let's talk about remove beneficiary because of non-accession. So as you see, this beneficiary not acceded to the contract. So you have to click on the red cross and this beneficiary is not acceded. Another example, let's talk about adding a new beneficiary. So you go to the beneficiary tab. There is the button add new beneficiary. You have to search on the pick. For example, I have put the pick number. I clicked on search. It has been validated as you see the pick status. This beneficiary is Aston University. You have to mention the short name, the start date. It can be a fixed starting date or the entry into force of this amendment or the date the beneficiary signs the accession form and then click OK. So now the new beneficiary has been added. As soon as you add the new beneficiary, it is represented with a red cross. So this is the Aston University which I entered. There are some error messages as you see. There is no contribution requested. Cost breakdown is missing. Partner must identify at least one department who will carry out the work. The DOH, Declaration of Honor, is not yet signed. It also says the accession to the grant agreement is not yet signed. The PL sign of the new beneficiary has to sign the DOH and the accession form before the PL sign of the coordinator can sign and submit the amendment request. So as you see here now in the amendment clauses, the addition of a new beneficiary is highlighted. This is an example of beneficiary termination. So let's say we have to terminate this beneficiary. So you click on the button terminate. You will get a pop-up screen, terminate beneficiary. You have to choose either the fixed date or the date of signature of this amendment by the coordinator. Give the reason of the termination. The date has to be always in the future and click the checkbox beneficiary requests the termination and then click on OK. As you see, the status of this beneficiary is now terminated. So this screen shows now that the beneficiary has been terminated with an end date in the future. There is also a message in red saying that please be aware that the termination of the participation for the beneficiaries will be applied as soon as the amendment is submitted. That is, when the amendment is signed by the project legal signatory of the coordinator, the termination is applied immediately. This action cannot be retracted. Consequently, the beneficiary's participation will be considered to be terminated at the effective date specified as soon as the amendment is submitted, even if the amendment is rejected or withdrawn. And when you go to the Documents tab, you have to upload the opinion letter of the leaving beneficiary for the terminated beneficiary. And there is also a PDF document created for the notification of the termination of the participation of one or more beneficiaries. Let's talk about partial takeover. So this explains the partial takeover screen. For example, the beneficiary 2 can partially take over another new beneficiary or anyone in the consortium. So by clicking on this icon, partial takeover, they have to mention the transfer date, a fixed date or the entry into force of this amendment to the following beneficiary. Click on Add Beneficiary, or in the drop-down menu, choose any one of the existing beneficiary. The budget can be updated, work packages, and deliverables. This tab shows that the work packages or the deliverable tab can be removed, modified, or can be add a new work package or deliverable. So as you see here, there is the button to add a new deliverable. If new deliverable, link it with the appropriate work package. The financial information could be modified for each cost category if needed during an amendment. The Documents tab shows 3 documents which will be automatically generated: the core, the request letter with justification, and the grant agreement data sheet. In the Documents tab, you have a warning message saying that the following documents are missing. So description of action part B must be uploaded before submitting. There is also an assistance for the amendment preparation, how to prepare an amendment in the participant portal. So when the amendment preparation is ready, click Lock for review. Data will be locked and a PDF is generated. After locking the data, this is a mandatory step. You have to click on EU review. The process history shows proceed to EU. So as you see here, it says proceed to EU. After revision by EU, that is if EU officer has rejected, you need to modify the data, lock for review, then again click EU review. As you see in this process history, it states that the amendment is in draft mode. EU review, a ping pong, that means a new exchange with the EU can take place. So when data is validated by the EU officer, the PL sign of the coordinator can click sign and submit. As you see, the metro line shows that the amendment has been submitted to EU. The PL sign of the coordinator has signed this amendment request, and the process history shows that it has been signed and submitted the amendment request. After official submission to EU, amendment request can be accepted or it can be rejected with comments. So as you see here, EU has admitted the amendment request. It is now admissible in the metro line. And when the amendment has been signed by EU, the consortium will be notified. So as you see here, both the parties have signed for the coordinator and for the commission. EU closed the process, and this process will be seen in the archived process. So if the EU rejected the consortium request, it will be shown with a red cross, and the rejected amendment letter will be then sent to the consortium. There is now the possibility to launch a new amendment request based on the amendment ID of the rejected one. That is, modify what was rejected. Let's talk about the EU service initiated. As you see here, the Commission has first signed this amendment the Commission initiated, and now the coordinator, Project Legal Secretary, is invited to electronically sign the amendment request and submit it to the granting authority. Support help and online manual is available. So if you go to how to participate, reference documents, if you filter by your program, EMFF, you have all your documents, templates, and forms. There is also the support, help desk, and support services for EMFF. And there is also the online manual and IT how to.